From facing the winner of the Alexander Usyk and Fury fight to possibly facing Deontay Wilder, here's what's next for Anthony Joshua after he defeated Francis Ngannou. AJ just flatlined one of the toughest dudes in the world in emphatic fashion, and now he's looked at as one of, if not the best, heavyweights in the world. So what's next for him? Well, a bout against the winner of the fight between Alexander and Tyson is the best option. The most impressive thing about AJ right now is the way he's been able to turn his career around. He went from hero to zero, and now he's back to being a hero. But he hasn't regained the titles just yet. If he can, then it'll be the ultimate full-circle moment and an amazing way to cap off his redemption arc. Right now, AJ's the most popular name in boxing because of what just happened to Ngannou and his recent string of wins. So everyone agrees that he deserves the next shot at the heavyweight titles. The only issue for him is that he'll need to wait longer than he'd like to because the Usyk and Fury fight's been pushed back to May. And on top of that, it's very likely that both men will rematch. Either way, after beating Francis, everyone agrees that Joshua deserves the title shot next. And honestly, everyone knows that he'll get it as soon as the Fury-Usyk saga comes to an end. So for now, we know Joshua's either gonna fight Alexander or Fury, but it'll be a while from now, unfortunately. If it's Usyk who comes out on top, that'll set up a third fight between him and Joshua. If the Brit can become champ again by avenging his losses to the man who took everything away from him, that would be an amazing story to witness. Last year, no one would have wanted to see this fight, nor would they have said AJ deserved it. But now things are obviously much different. Joshua's having one of the best runs of his career, and if he treats Usyk the way he treated Ngannou, AJ might just get another statement win under his belt and cement himself as the best heavyweight of the modern era. This fight is perfect for AJ because it'll go a long way toward removing the biggest blemish of his career since he at least avenged his loss to Ruiz. Obviously, it'll be tough for AJ, but it's the perfect matchup if he wants to prove that he's built differently and better than ever. Now, while almost everyone thinks Usyk's gonna win against Fury, there is also the chance that the Gypsy King becomes the undisputed champ. That would set up a bout between him and AJ, something we've been dying to see for ages. These guys have been talking trash for years, and fans of both men keep claiming they've been ducking each other. After AJ's rough spell in 2021 until 2022, everyone was riding the Fury hype train and said he'd piece up Joshua with ease. But now that's not the narrative at all. Ngannou made Fury look like a bum, and in all honesty, he won against Tyson, while AJ knocked Francis out cold in the second round. Now everyone's backing AJ in a possible fight with Fury. While Fury's got sound technical skills, I don't see him surviving against AJ. We've seen Wilder knock him down multiple times, and I can see AJ doing the same thing if they face off. If both men fight for undisputed status, it would be great for British boxing, as the fight would be a spectacle. And as I said, we've been wanting to see it for years. Again, a win against Fury does a lot for AJ's legacy and would put to rest any chatter about Fury being better. So whether it's Fury or Usyk who Anthony will fight in the future, he has a chance to reclaim his past glory once again, and I see him doing exactly that. As I told you, the fight got pushed back due to Fury's injury, and on top of that, there most likely will be an immediate rematch, so Joshua needs to wait a bit before he can get his hands on the titles. And let's say if Usyk wins one fight and Fury the other, that would set up a trilogy, which would delay AJ's quest for undisputed status even more. So AJ only really has one option, and that's to stay active. Right now, AJ's more popular than ever, and he's been fighting quite frequently while not taking much damage. Since he'll probably have to wait a while, he should try and fight at least 2 to 3 more people before challenging the winner of the Usyk-Fury saga. AJ himself has said that he doesn't plan on waiting around too long and wants to fight again in June or July. And for now, it seems the most likely fight is between him and Filip Hrgović during the summer. The Croatian's currently 17-0, so it'll be a fun fight, but AJ should handle him with ease. But it's not as if AJ's only named one possible opponent. In fact, he said he's even willing to face Wilder, Joseph Park, and Big Bang. All of these fights would be epic. And even though people have lost interest in an AJ Wilder fight, let's be real, there's a bit of us that still wants to see it happen. There was so much trash talked about for years, and at the end of the day, they're both big names, so it would generate a lot of buzz. Plus, you never know what might happen when you put two beasts in the ring. Wilder would probably lose, but I could still see the fight being an entertaining one that gets people hyped. Plus, with AJ having to wait so long, It makes sense to give him the next biggest fight. And a bout with Deontay is exactly that. Not only would the fight make a ton of money, but it would bring more eyes to the sport than any of the other possible options. Sure, the Bronze Bomber looked out of sorts in his last fight, but that doesn't mean we should just count him out entirely. Either way, a fight with Philip is most likely. But after taking him on, I'd say AJ should push for the Wilder fight. Besides Deontay, there is another man who could make for an interesting matchup. This would also be a good option because it's not a hard fight, but it'll definitely keep the fans entertained because of the history. Sure, AJ dominated him with a masterclass of a performance in their rematch, but at the end of the day, they're still tied at 1 win apiece. And let's be real, Ruiz hasn't been active, nor has he looked that good in either of his fights since the Joshua rematch, so this would be an easy win for AJ. Besides being an easy win, it would also be relatively exciting because of the tiebreaker aspect. Not to mention, AJ can get more bragging rights and say that not only did he avenge his defeat, but he effectively finished Andy's career if he beats him. That said, since Ruiz would know he has nothing to lose, he'd put it all out there, and that could make the fight more exciting. Another possible rematch could be between AJ and Dillian Whyte. After all, both men were supposed to face off for the second time before Whyte pulled out in August of 2023. Whyte's better than when they first met, and I'm sure he feels like he deserves a chance to show AJ what he's got. But AJ's also gotten better since their first fight, so it would be hard to see Dillian win. Either way, it would be more entertaining than Anthony fighting someone like Philip or Parker. Though the possible options for the Brit don't end here. In case you forgot, back in 2019, Joshua was supposed to face Jarrell Miller, who got replaced by Ruiz. AJ and Miller talked a lot of smack, and if AJ wants to lay the smack down on him for fun, that'd be a great way to keep busy. Besides that, there's also the option of pitting Anthony against Daniel Dubois. Seeing two Brits go at it in Britain would be entertaining, no doubt, but it would be too easy a fight for Joshua since Dubois is a bit of a quitter. Clearly, there are a lot of options available, and Eddie Hearn's gonna ensure that Joshua's busy until he finally gets to fight for undisputed status. So if you love AJ and want to see him back in action, don't worry because he'll be in the ring sooner rather than later. What's more, he'll be happy to keep fighting if the undisputed title fight gets delayed too much. It's safe to say AJ's back and better than ever. He's not retiring anytime soon, because he has unfinished business that'll only be finished once he becomes the champ again, and completes one of the greatest redemption arcs in boxing history. So, from facing the winner of the Alexander Usyk and Fury fight to possibly facing Deontay Wilder, those were the possible opponents for Anthony Joshua after he defeated Francis Ngannou.